of Lake Erie the last couple days?
No, it's been going on more than a couple of days. It started as soon as that round started. Mm-hmm. So, you know what, we did that going into the end of the regular season and preparing for what could have been 3 opponents. And then as you're playing the first round, you've got to do your homework and make sure you're ready if you're fortunate enough to make it to the next round. And so obviously you're doing those 2 teams. And then while we were playing San Diego, we were looking and hoping that we were going to make it through to face the winner of Grand Rapids and Lake Erie. So we've been watching every game that they play. Zach does a good job of making sure it gets on mine and Heider's computers, and we've been breaking it down. And then from there, you separate it into categories, and you got 2 different teams. And then you wait for the buzzer to see who's going to be your opponent, and you take it from there. So then from there, we've just been taking the start of each day. We just show a couple of systems things on what now is Lake Erie, and see if we can tinker with a few things, and again, work on what we need to do.
What are your first impressions from the video of Lake Erie about their team?
They look like they can skate. I mean, their forwards look like they can get up the ice in a hurry. Their transition game is real good, so anything that's turned over can be a problem. Lorensky, defenseman, we've already talked about him. He gets up the ice, brings a new dynamic to the back end. And I think they've got 2 really good goalies. They mostly went with Corpusalo, but Forsberg comes in the last game and gets the job done. So, it's a good team. We haven't seen them through the regular season, but looking at their stats, I think our numbers were pretty similar in goals for and goals against and stuff like that. So I guess the biggest difference has been the difference between their power play in the regular season and their power play percentage right now in the playoffs, which is 28 or 29, which is really, really, really high.
And now it's a new challenge because you had 2 teams that you saw a lot, and now you have a team that you haven't played at all, and until players really get out there, it might be kind of hard for what you tell them to kind of translate into action.
It can be, but again, through the use of the video, I mean, we've seen how they like to break out, of which that's what makes it tough because they've got a number of different looks for their breakouts. And in zone, there's a lot of movement. The D like to switch at the top, and I think they try to confuse you that way. But you're right, until you actually, we can show it, we can talk about it, until you actually get on the ice and experience it, it's something that, we always try to look at each game after it's played and make some adjustments, but that might be something that really needs to have us pay attention to, is just that, and maybe even during the game, it's interesting. You get some good feedback sometimes from your players too. Like the forwards will come back and say something, the defense will come back, and even a guy like Boots, he's got a good hockey mind back there. Like he might even have a little suggestion for where he wants our defensemen per se as to how they're lined up. So it's just a matter of keeping the dialogue open between us as a staff and the players amongst themselves.
Going back to the goaltending, it seems like maybe they have a little bit of a controversy brewing there. Are you having to prep for both right now?
We always do, Lindsay. We always prepare for both. And you know what? I think, I think those guys both played during the regular season. So I don't know if it's a controversy or not. It's not for me to decide. Their coach has obviously done a good job to get them where they are. So, and he knows his players better than I do. He'll pick whoever he thinks is the right one to start, and they'll go from there. I think that it's a good thing though when you can, make a goalie change and get the result that you're looking for.